Hi everyone and welcome to the first Instagram automation tutorial. Now we are going to build a simple bot which will get access to a certain profile. It will follow this profile and afterwards it will like and comment on the first 3 pictures. First we need to go ahead and grab one profile we want to work with. Let's say we need this profile, it's Chi Dogs. Let's grab this one, click on this. Then what we want to do is click on follow, get the first picture, leave a comment here, give it a like, go to the next one, do the same stuff, like it, comment it, and we will do this for, all in all 3 pictures. And in total, we will automate this process for 2 profiles. All right, so this is right now our requirement. But before we are able to do this, we need to automate the Instagram login process. That means I will just log out from this profile and let's do everything from scratch. All right, so I have already opened up a new project here inside this PyCharm IDE. Let's create one new Python file and then let's go and create our simple bot. Let's name it as IG_bot. And now let's go ahead and create our script. So first we need to grab this Instagram.com page and then we need to open the website and type in our credentials, log in, and then we can search for a specific profile. In this tutorial, we will work with Selenium. So if you don't have any kind of knowledge about Selenium, make sure you check out my tutorial. There I have covered the concept which we need for this project. Okay, but for now, let's go ahead and import the WebDriver from the Selenium package in the very first step. So let's go ahead and write down from Selenium, import the WebDriver. And then in the next step, what we need to do is we need to initialize our driver. So let's provide one variable here. It's driver equals to WebDriver.Chrome, because now I will work again with the Chrome driver or with the Chrome browser. And inside this brackets, what we need to do is we need to provide our personal path where the Chrome driver is located. So let's paste it here. And actually I don't need this quotes in the beginning and at the very end. Can just remove them. And now we are good to go and we can proceed. So let's go ahead and create one function, because now first, before we grab any kind of profile, we need to automate the login process. So this is right now the function for the login steps. And we need to get access to the Instagram page. So let's just copy this URL and paste it inside our quotes, inside this brackets here. And now we should get access to Instagram.com. And in the next step, what we need to do is we need to provide our credentials. So for this tutorial, I've created one test user account. And now we need to paste everything inside these 2 boxes here. So first what we need to do is right click and inspect. Let's take a look and create our expression for our username input. What we can do here is we can go and search for the name, for example. I guess this will be the most straightforward way. So let's go ahead and write down driver.findElement by name, and then we can just enter this username value. Let's do this. So it's driver.findElement by name. Paste this username stuff here. And what we need to do with this one is we need to provide everything inside one variable. So let's go ahead and create this variable here. This is step number 1. Then let's do the same stuff for the password input. And you see here that this structure is actually the same. Let's use this name element here, or this attribute, and copy this password value, create our second variable and just do the same. driver.find element by name, and inside this brackets let's provide our password value. And then in the next step, what we need to do is we need to click on the first search box in order to be able to type something in. So first let's go for username.click, and then in the next step let's send keys inside the search box. So again, every time we type something in, we need to use the send keys function. And now this is actually my test user account for this particular project. And don't worry, after this project I will actually change my password so nothing can be messed up here. And now let's go ahead and provide our password. So first, again, we need to click on the password input field, and then we need to type in our password. So password.click and then .send keys. And inside this brackets, let's provide our password for this project. And finally, we need to click on this login button. So let's inspect on this, and then we can create our XPath expression. So we want to get access to this text element. So let's build our XPath expression. So let's go ahead with div text equals to, and now you need to provide the exact same spelling. So log in, close the bracket, and you see that this element is actually unique. Copy that one. And now let's provide the next variable. So let's go ahead and write down log_in equals to driver.find element by XPath, and paste your expression inside this brackets here. And then we want to click on this button, login.click, and now you should be good to go. But first, make sure you provide .find element and not elements, because now we don't work with lists. So remove this S, and now we can proceed. So I would say we can just run our code for the first time, and let's see if we have access to this login procedure. So let's do this. Let's create one function call, and then let's right click and let's run our code. I will just close this window here, and now let's run it. Okay, let's see, and I will put it on the right side. Okay, and we have our first mistake, or the first error, because we didn't provide this cookie stuff before we are able to get access to this credentials input. So now let's inspect on this accept button, because we want to click on accept before we proceed. It's actually quite straightforward. We can use this text element here. So let's go and write down button text equals to accept, close. Oh, sorry, I've removed it again. Let's go ahead, button, then text equals to accept, close the bracket, and now let's copy this expression and paste it actually inside one new variable. Let's go ahead and write down cookies underscore accept equals to driver.find element by XPath, and inside this brackets let's paste our expression, and then we want to click on cookies.accept. Okay, so for now this should be good to go, and before I run it again, let's just provide maybe 1 second of waiting before we proceed. We need to import this time package, and I would actually copy this expression and paste it afterwards, or after we've provided our name, and then after we've provided our password. And now let's run this code again. I will close the old window, right click, and let's run this code. I will put it again on the right side, and now let's see what happens. So we clicked on accept. Let's provide our credentials, and now you see that we are able to get access to the first page of the Instagram site after we provided our username and the password. And now we see that we need to click on not now after we have logged in. let's do this quickly. Right click here, let's inspect it. Here you will see that we have again one text element, so expression is actually almost the same, or the structure is the same as our previous expression. Let's use the button and then the text element, and inside this one we need to provide this not now text. Copy that, and this is actually the credential stuff, right? Let's just provide one new variable. Credentials equals to driver dot find element by XPath. Let's do this, and inside this brackets let's just paste our expression. Then we want to click on not now, right? So let's go ahead and search for the dot click function, and afterwards let's provide again 1 second of waiting. Let's see what happens when we click on not now. Afterwards we will get another notification, and here we need to click on not now again, and here you will see that actually this is more or less the same structure. We have this button tag, we have this not now text element, so in order to save some time we can just copy this last 3 lines, paste it here, and just provide one different variable. Let's just go ahead and write down notifications, and we want to click on the notifications expression, notifications.click, and our goal is to click on not now, so then we have access to this page. And now we can go ahead and just run our code again. But before we do this, I would say that after we have logged in, let's again wait for, let's say, for 2 seconds, time.sleep2. And actually sometimes you will see this cookie pop-ups and, for example, this notification credential pop-ups too, but I have made the experience that sometimes they just don't appear. This is why I would say that we can write them inside one try and accept block. So let's do this. This means if one of these pop-ups appears, we click on I accept, and if they don't appear, we just do nothing. So let's just go ahead and write this down, try and accept pass. And we want to do this also for this credential pop-up. So let's use the try statement, make our proper indentation, and then let's go for the accept statement, pass, and the same for this notification pop-up. So try, indent everything, provide this accept statement, and now we can run our code again. So let's do this, right click and run the script. And now let's see what happens. So driver is loading, provide the credentials, click on login, and now we should be able to click on not now and again not now in order to turn off the notifications. And now you see that we have successfully reached our step. Okay, so this was actually the first part, and now let's go ahead and build our bot. But before we proceed, I would say let's just do quickly 1 or 2 short modifications here. So inside this login function, let's provide a few simple comments. So this was actually for accepting the cookies. So the next person who's taking a look on the code will know what we have done here. Then let's go down. These are the storage of the credential, or let's just say credential storage. It's simple. So credential storage. And finally, what we have done is we turned off the notifications. Okay, so let's write it down, notifications. Cool. And what we also can do is we can provide 2 arguments inside this function. Let's go for username and for the password. And we can also provide, or we have to provide, these 2 arguments inside this username brackets here. Let's do this, and let's remove this hard copy stuff and provide username. And for the password, let's just type down password. That means, so for example, let's just close this function here, and when we make our function call, we need to provide the username and the password. So if you hover over your mouse to this login stuff, you see that we need to provide username and the password. And then when we run this code, we can just type down test user account 24, and the second argument is our password, and the password for this project is test user. That means if we run our code again, we don't need to provide this hard-coded stuff inside these brackets and also not inside these brackets. That means when you grab this code and you want to use it for your own projects, the only thing what you need to do is you need to provide your personal username of Instagram and also your private password, and then you can run this code just one-on-one. Okay, so for now, let's go ahead and create one new function. Let's just name it as follow underscore like underscore comment, because this is actually what we want to do now. We want to get access to a certain profile. We want to follow this profile. Then we want to like a picture, and we want to comment on this picture. So this we want to write down, or we want to write down these steps inside this function. Let's go ahead and let's do this. First, as I mentioned in the beginning, we want to get access to two different profiles. So I would say we can just write them down inside a list. So let's just write down profiles underscore list equals to, and I've decided to get access to an animal page, or to two different animal pages. And the name of the first one is duck._lover. The second one is rabbit._lover. All right, so these are two animal pages, and we want to get access to both of them. This is step number one. Step number two, we need to create one more list with all the comments inside. So let's just go ahead and provide some random comments. The first one is, let's say, so cute. Second one is cutie, because these are actually cute animals, and I guess these kind of comments are okay, at least for these projects. And the next one is very sweet. Sorry, very sweet, comma. Now, let's proceed. The next one is just nice. Next comment is love it. And the last one is looks very special. And I hope you got this idea here. So again, we want to get access to these two profiles. Then we want to work with 3 pictures and also provide 3 comments. And these comments should be just randomly selected from this list. Okay, so before we start, let's try to automate the process for the first profile, and then let's write our for loop in order to do this twice. Okay, so the first one is duck lover. Let's see what we need to do. First, we need to get access to this search box. We need to type down duck lover, and we need to click on the first one. And then you see we will land on this site. Okay, so let's do this, and let's take a look how we can get access this search box here. Right click and inspect. And now let me just inspect it again and take a look how I can get access to that. And here I can again work with this text element. Let's create our XPath expression. So it's span text equals to search. Equals to search. Close the bracket. And now we have access to this one. Copy this expression. Then go down, provide one variable. Search equals to driver.findElement by XPath. So this is it's again the first one. Paste your expression here, and then we need to click on search, search.click. Afterwards, we need to type something inside the search box. But so for now, you have seen that we have the span tag and this search text element. But if I click on this one, you will see on the DOM or at the DOM that this structure has actually changed. So again, before we clicked on search, so right click and inspect, you see we have the span tag, we have this search text element. Now, if I click on this one, you see that this structure has changed. That means before I type something inside the search box, I need to create one new XPath expression to be able to interact and type something down. So here I will use the input tag, then I go for the placeholder attribute and go for the search value. So for now, let me just build the new XPath expression. So it's input at placeholder equals to, let me just inspect it again because I've forgotten what I need to do. Search, right? Search with capital S. And now let me close the bracket, and you see here that now we have access to this search bar. Copy this expression, paste it inside your code, and I would say for the first variable, let's say we name it as search_1, and now we can go ahead and name the second one as search2. So sorry for that, it's search1, and now we create one new variable, search_2 equals to driver.findElement by XPath, and inside this brackets we can provide this expression. And now we need to type something in. That means search2 dot send keys, and inside this send keys function we need to provide this first name or this first profile name. And after I've clicked on the search box the first time, let's just wait for 1 second until we proceed. And now when I've typed in this profile name inside this search box, let's try and let's see what happens. So this is actually duck._lover. What I need to do now is I need to press enter 2 times. So I've just pressed 1 time, and then if I press the second time, then I have access to this particular profile. That means we need to write a few lines in order to be able to click on enter 2 times to get access to this profile. Let's see how we can do this. Actually, we can work with the send class, with the keys class, and we need to import it until we are actually able to use it. Let me show you how we can manage it. So let's go ahead and write down search2 dot send keys, and now we need to get access to this keys class. Make sure that you hover over your mouse to this keys, to the word keys, then click on import. And if you scroll up, you see that this class was actually imported, and we can just put it a little bit on the top, and now we should be good to go. And inside this keys class, we need to get access to this enter method. Click on enter, and actually we need to do this 2 times. The first approach is just to copy this line and paste it here, or we can just write down one simple while loop in order to be able to click on enter 2 times. And I would say let's just go ahead and create one simple while loop here. So let's start with count equals to 0, and then we write down while count is less than 3. What we want to do is we want to click on enter 2 times. Let's just mention that count equals to count plus 1. So this means actually the same as count equals to count plus 1. So this statement are actually, yeah, these are the same. And then in the next step, let's wait for 1 second, time.sleep, and 1 second. And now if everything works fine, we have access to a specific profile. And I would say let's just try and test it out. And before we run it, let's just delete this empty line. Afterwards, let's call the next function. So it's follow like comment. It's that one. And now I will close this window here. Right click, let's run it. Let's see what happens. Let me put this on the right. And now, yeah, we are, oh, okay, something happened here. So give me 1 second. Let's see what I have messed up. So let's take a look at line 25. Line 25 is actually this login function, 25 here, and here we have provided this username as an argument from this function here. And okay, so I think I know what I have messed up. So we have provided this username as a variable, and here this username stuff is not the variable anymore, but this is the argument of this function here. So I would say let's just rename it as username underscore, and the same for password underscore. And now we need to do this modification here too. And I will run this code again. So I hope you got this point. So I mean, just Python was confused because we have provided a username for the variable and also as an argument. And this is why we have received this error message. And now let's run this code again and let's see what happens. Okay, so the driver is initializing. Let's provide our credentials, click on the login button, and then we need to click on not now. But I see that we have the next error message. Oh man, I think while coding, you need a lot of patience. And now let's see what I've messed up this time. So we were not able to click on the first not now button. So I would say let's go and take a look where this actually is. This is here. Let's say we want to wait. Let's give it just 4 seconds. I know actually you can also work with implicit waits, explicit waits, and so on. But for simplicity reasons, I've chosen this time.sleep function. And now let's just run this code again. And hopefully now we have access to the first profile. Okay, again, provide the credentials, click on the login button. And now, as you see, we are able to click on these pop-ups. And let's go ahead and search for the first profile. And voila, finally, we have access to the first profile. Okay, so the next step is to follow this specific page. Afterwards, we click on the first media element, and then we want to like this picture and provide one comment. Let's do this. So let's go ahead and let me put 2 windows inside my screen here. And in the next step, let's try and let's get access to this follow button. Right click and inspect. Let's inspect it again. This is a little bit small, but we see everything. Let's use this button tag and this text element inside. Let's go ahead. It's button. Then we have our text element equals to follow. Close the brackets, and this element is actually unique. Copy that one. Now let's go down, and actually we can close or minimize this login function. So now we are here. Let's go ahead and provide the follow variable. Follow equals to driver dot find element by XPath. Paste your expression here, and we want to click on follow dot click. And afterwards, let's wait for, let's say, for 2 seconds. And I will provide one simple comment. Just follow. Okay, so now we should be actually good to go with the first step. Next, what we want to do is we want to like and we want to comment on one picture. That means, so maybe I should maximize it. What we need to do now is we need to get access to the first picture, and then let's work with with the next requirement. Right click, let's inspect it. And you see here that we can use this div element, this class attribute, and this value inside. So let me copy that and let's go ahead and build our next XPath expression. So it's div class equals to the value which I've copied, close it. And now you see here that at the moment we have access to 24 media elements. I'm talking about media elements because this is a picture. This one, for example, is a video. And now we have 24 media elements. And for example, if you scroll down right now, you see that this number is increasing. And if I scroll down more, this number gets higher and higher. But actually, I want to get access to the first one. That means this is actually, at the moment at least, not very interesting for us, that this number is increasing. We just need to click on the first one. This is why I will just copy this expression, go back to the PyCharm, and then let's just write down first picture equals to driver dot, or let's say first element, because sometimes it also can be a video. So let's just remove everything, and I will provide media element equals to driver dot find element by XPath. Let's paste it here, and then what we want to do is we want to click on this media element. So this is actually just one approach. You also can create one list where you have all these media images, and then you can just mention that you want to get access to the first one. But again, for simplicity reasons, let's just click on the first media element without providing one list. And if you have any kind of doubts or any kind of questions, please let me know, and let's make this clear together. But for now, let's go and use this dot click function in order to be able to click on the first picture. And now let's see what happens. If we click on this, we will see this appearance here. Now we need to click on like, and then we need to provide one comment. So now I will remove the last expression. Let's go ahead, right click, inspect. And now we need to get access to this like button. We have actually different ways how we can accomplish it. I would say let's go ahead and work with this button tag, this class attribute, and this value, then traverse down and write down our XPath expression. Let's do this. I will copy again this value so I don't need to remember it. And now let's start and build our expression. So it's button add class equals to the value, close the bracket. And now we need to get actually access to this particular thing. So let's take a look if this is the right one, what we are actually looking for. I guess it's actually not, because what I want to do is I want to get access to this one. So this is actually this number 3 of 7. And now I want to traverse down to this area here. Let's do this. And I will traverse down by providing a double slash. And then in the next step, I go for 1 star. Then let's move ahead with area hyphen label equals to like. So let's see if this actually will build our expression, and it does. So you see this expression is unique for this heart, which stands for the like button. Again, we have started here with the button tag, and then we moved the way down, or our way down, until we reach this point here, and this is the expression. So I will just copy that one, and then in the next step I will provide one new variable. So like equals to driver dot find element by XPath. I will just paste the expression inside this brackets. In the next step, what I want to do is I want to click on this like button. So it's like dot click. And after I've grabbed the first picture, let's say we want to wait for 2 seconds, and then you will see clearly that first we get access to the first media element, then we will like it, and then we want again to wait, let's say just for 1 second this time. And in the next step, what we want to do is we want to get access to this comment box. Then we click on the comment box, and then we want to type something in. Let's go ahead and let's do this. Now let me maximize this window, and let's see how we can get access to this comment box. So right click and inspect it. And what we can do here is let's use this class name, because every time, or at least almost every time, we use the XPath expression. Let's go and use this class name here. Copy this, and then in the next step, let's provide one new variable. So comment equals to driver dot find element by class name, and then let's provide the class name itself. In the next step, we want to click on this area. So comment dot click. Then let's say we want to wait for 1 second, and finally we want to mention one statement, comment dot send keys, and let's just write down nice. So this is just the example for the first profile and the first picture, and if the script is working out for us, we will create different loops in order to be able to grab 2 profiles and to work with 3 pictures at every profile. Okay, so I would say let's go ahead, and now let's run this code again. Right click and let's run it. Let's see what happens now. Again, everything is initializing. Let's provide the credentials. Click on the login button, then click on not now. Again, notification stuff, not now. Let's search for one profile. Let's get access to this. Now we follow this profile, we click on the first picture, we click on the like button, and now let's go ahead and comment something. And actually here we have the one error message. So you see here we have followed this profile, because now you don't see this blue follow button here. For example, here on the right side, you see that we can follow this profile. Here it's not accessible anymore because we have just clicked on this button. Here we clicked on the like button, and actually we clicked also on the comment button, but at the very last step something crashed. Let's take a look what it is. Again, sometimes you need a lot of patience, but I'm quite optimistic we will get it. Now let's go ahead and take a look what I've messed up. So this happened in line 87, and line 87 is actually this comment stuff here. So the script was not able to interact with this comment area, and let's actually see why it happened. So I will now maximize this window, right click and inspect it. Let's take a look. And as you can remember, we have worked with this class name, right, with this value, and this is actually the area we see before we click on add a comment. And now take a look. After we click it, you see that this class stuff changed, and we see right now focus visible. So this is actually the way we can distinguish between before we click on this add a comment and after we click on this. So you see, we just have access to this class name after we click on this add a comment text area. That means before we want to write something down, we need to grab one different element, and then in the next step, when this stuff here is visible, then we can go ahead and work with the class name. Okay, so I would say before we click it, let's build our expression with this div tag, this class attribute, and this value. And I hope you are not confused too much. If you are, please let me know, and I will try to explain it again in the comment section. But for now, let's just proceed and build our new expression here. And you see, we are able to get access to this comment stuff here. Let's copy that one. And now I will just make one small modification. So I will provide one new variable. Let's say it's comment1 equals to driver dot find element by XPath. Paste the expression here. Then we want to click on this comment section. And then when this part becomes visible where we have access to this class name, then we want to type something inside this comment box. So here I also want to make one short modification. So let's provide this variable name here, comment_2, comment_2. And we don't need to click on this anymore because we have done this in the first part. What we want to do now is we want to send keys, and this time.sleep function we can also remove. And now we have provided two variables for this comment stuff. And now let's just try and run this code again. But first I need to unlike this picture and unfollow the site, because if I have already followed the site and I will click on follow again, this actually won't work and the script will break again. And let's see what happens if I just run this code now. Right click and let's run it. Okay, hopefully we are able to fix this problem by changing the comment stuff. And yeah, sometimes you have these issues that the structure changes before clicking and after clicking, and there you need to be flexible. Okay, so we follow this page, grab the first one, click like, let's go ahead and let's provide our comment. And you see here, we were able to provide this comment now because we have changed the structure of the expression for the comment section. And in the next step, what I have actually forgotten to do is to click on post, but this is not a big deal at all. And you see that this works. Okay, so I would say, let me just grab this post button. Then I will write down this expression for that. We click on this and we will build our loop in order to be able to work with multiple pages and multiple media elements. All right, so let's do this. And here I can again work with the text element. So let's go ahead and build our XPath expression. So it's button text equals to post. Oh, sorry, was the wrong one. So it should be actually here. Post, close your bracket, and this is unique. So copy that one. And now we can make this window a little bit smaller. So now let's go ahead and just provide one variable, post equals to driver dot find element by XPath. I will paste the expression here, and then we want to click on the post button. Post.click, and now this should be actually fine. Okay, so this is our first step, and then let's work with multiple pages. Now let's go ahead and open up the PyCharm IDE, and let's see what kind of modifications we need to do here in order to be able to work with multiple pages. So for now, we will just concentrate on this follow like comment function. And here what we need to do is we need to write down the first for loop. So let's go ahead and write for I in range, and here we will provide how many pages we want to get access to. And since here inside this list we have two pages, we can just actually write down for I in range 2, or what we can do is we can just provide the length function, and inside this length function we provide the profiles list. So that means if you, for example, have 10 pages, then you don't need to do any kind of modifications inside this brackets, because now it will grab this length of this 10 pages. But in our example, in this project, we have just 2 pages. That means, yeah, let's go ahead and work with this one. And I can just maybe provide one simple comment here. So it's 2 pages. And then we need, of course, take care of this indentation stuff here. Let's do that, and let's indent everything. This is the first part, what we need to do. In the next step, for example, you can remember we have worked with the search to variable, and then we needed to use the send keys function in order to search for a specific profile. For now, we can just remove this hard-coded stuff. And what we need to provide is, again, the profiles list. And inside this list, let's provide one I. That means in the first loop, it will grab the first profile. And then in the second loop, it will, or in the second iteration, it will grab the second one. Okay, so this is the modification step number 2. Then let's scroll all the way down. And now what we need to do next is, after we have clicked on the first picture, so this is actually the first picture, and what I can do now is I need to provide one more for loop. And let's go ahead and write down for, let's say we want to use the k as our new iterator variable, so for k in range 3, because now we want to get access to 3 pages. To 3 pictures, right? And here, what we need to do is we want to like 3 pictures. We want to comment on 3 pictures, and this is why we need to work with this for loop here. And I guess this is actually quite straightforward. Let's indent everything which is underneath this for loop here. And now we have actually almost done everything what is needed. So let's remember one thing here. After we have typed something inside this comment box, we need to click on post. This was actually covered by this 2 lines of codes of line 94 and 95. And then in the next step, what we need to do is we need to click on the next picture. So because in the first example, when we have run our code, we just used 1 picture, and now we want to grab multiple pictures. That means we need to get access to this next arrow. Right click here, let's inspect it, and let's see how we can get access to that one. Okay, so again we have, so I will make this a little bit bigger so you can see it better. So we have here this anchor tag and this a text element. Let's go ahead and write down our XPath expression. So it's a text, and I hope you guys can see it properly here. So it's a text equals to next. Let's close the bracket. And now you see that this expression is unique for this next button. I will just copy that one. Then I go back to the PyCharm again. So let's provide one new variable. Next button equals to driver.find element by XPath. I will just provide the expression, and we want to click on the next button. So next button dot click. And what we also can do is let's put a few time elements here. So we will provide maybe timeout error messages here. Let's just make sure that now we don't have any kind of error anymore. And now I guess we have covered everything here. Maybe we can just make a few modifications regarding the comments. So this is actually the first, let's just provide one comment here, first media element, and here we want to like it, so let's provide one like comment. In the next one we want to comment something, so let's provide the comment. Then let's just write down post, and here click on next media element. And after we have successfully commented and liked 3 different pictures, we need to go ahead and click on this close or this X. So let's inspect on this one, right click, inspect. And here, for example, let's work with this area label attribute and this close value. Let's go ahead and write down our expression. So let's go for a double slash, then let's use for this example 1 star. And now let's go ahead and write down area label equals to close, and I will inspect on this one again. So I inspect it and I need to get this value. So copy this and paste it here, close the bracket, and you see this is actually unique for this X element. So I will copy this one, go back to the PyCharm, and actually we need to provide this element outside our for loop. That means let's write down the close variable equals to driver.find element by XPath, paste it here, and then we want to click on this X button or this X sign, close.click. And after we have clicked on the next button on the pictures, let's wait again for 1 more second. And what this actually does is we have 3 media elements. Let's just say we have 3 pictures, right? We will like 3 pictures, comment 3 pictures, and then when we leave this for loop, we will just close this area by clicking on this X sign. Okay, so this is right now what I mean by these 2 lines here. And after we have grabbed the first 3 pictures of the first profile, we will leave the for loop, and then we will grab the second profile, and then we do just the same stuff again. And before I run this code again, what I need to mention here is inside this inside this comment section, we have typed down that every time we want to just write down nice. This is actually not our requirement. This was just the example for one picture of one profile. What we actually want to do is we want to grab one random comment out of this list here. That means first we need to import the random package. So let's go ahead, import random. And now we need to provide this requirement inside this send keys brackets. So let's write down random.choice. And inside this brackets, we need to provide the list where the script should grab the comments from. So this is the comments list. And this means we need to provide down comments here. All right, and now we told the script, as I mentioned before, that we want just to get one of these, I think 6, yes, one of these 6 comments, and mention them randomly inside these pictures. All right, so I guess now we can run this code again. And before I do so, for example, let's provide one argument here. So it's the number argument. And we also can provide this argument inside this second for loop. That means if you do your function call and if you want to mention that, let's say you want to grab 10 or 15 or 20 pictures, you can just provide 10, 20 or something like this inside this function call here. But for now, you see that we need to provide one number element and we want to provide number 3. So we want to work with 3 different pictures. So this is actually the function call. And I guess now let's start running this code again and let's see if everything works fine. So right click, let's run it and let's see what happens. Okay, so the driver again is initializing, providing the credentials, click on the login button. In the next step, again, not now again, yes and no. I think you know this process very, very well. Let's grab the first page, let's follow it, grab the first picture, like it, add a comment, click on post, next one, like, comment something, click on post, next one, like, comment, click on post, click on X right now, next one. So this is actually profile number 2. It seems that the for loops are actually working fine so far. Looks good, like it, let's comment it, great, next one, like, let's comment something. And I think the only thing is that oh no, okay, right now I thought it, wasn't just looping through our comments list, but everything went fine. Okay, so if you want to make one cross-check, so I intentionally didn't close the driver at the end because I wanted to take a look. So I've clicked on the first picture. So you see we have provided one like. And let's scroll down. This is 24 seconds ago. This is actually our profile. And we provided this comment here, Qt. Next one, let's take a look. Again, we have liked it. And now where is actually our comment? It's here. It's again Qt. But now you see, for example, picture number 3. This is one different comment out of our comments list. All right, so let's wrap up what we have done. We have grabbed 2 different profiles. We have followed these specific sites. Then we grabbed 3 different media elements, or let's say pictures. We have commented on them and we have provided the like button. Okay, so this was actually everything for this tutorial. If you have any kind of questions, please refer to me. Again, thank you very much for your time, for your patience. Take care, and I see you at one of the next sections or tutorials.